What is up, everybody? Bobby here, the Nintendo Guru. Look, man, there's some amazing things apparently happening. We don't know. A lot of rumors, a lot of guessing and games and stuff. But today I jumped on Reddit and I noticed something. So last week I saw a video where apparently YouTube is coming to the Nintendo Switch this week, November 8th. I guess because of that, Reddit believes that we're getting a second Nintendo Direct this month. They also believe we're getting it on Thursday. So I don't know whether the two coincide. That's the one thing I'm not sure about. I'm not sure if Reddit feels this is going to happen just because the YouTube launch, or if it just happened to be the date they picked prior because of rumors, and that's just basically where it's going. Reddit seems to always be pretty good about this stuff. They seem to have the finger on the pulse most of the time. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes they get it absolutely wrong. But for the most part, Reddit seems to kind of have a feel and a vibe of what's going on. That being said, I don't think there's going to be a Direct this Thursday. I think that it's too close to the one that just happened. Don't get me wrong. It would be fantastic if it did. But I think that we're going to actually get one probably a little later in November. I think people are basically thinking it's going to happen just because we're leading into the holiday season and they want to build the hype one more time before the holiday push, which may be true, but I don't necessarily know that it's true as well. I don't know that I believe it, put it that way. I think it's going to be, if we do get a Direct, it's going to be based on one game, maybe two games. They might do like a Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee Direct, but again, they just talked about it during the Treehouse Live. I just don't feel that there's going to be any Direct at all. I feel like, if anything, we get one in January and February to talk about the remainder of next year. Unless this Direct, in some people's minds, is to show what's coming in the early portion of 2019. I mean, we still haven't seen much about Fire Emblem, so we do need to see some stuff about that. We haven't heard any confirmation, anything else further about Metroid, so that's still way up in the air, and I know people want to hear about that game. Animal Crossing, I do not believe is going to show in a Direct, or they're going to do anything. They might do an Animal Crossing only Direct, maybe like a month before the game actually launches. Animal Crossing to the mass groups doesn't show well. That's not a game that they put out to show and be like, hey, look, it's coming. It just doesn't. It just never really goes over that well. So I think that's a mistake. So Nikkei basically came out and they're claiming that sluggish Switch sales worrying for the holiday season. They're saying overall, the industry overall is looking for the PS5. So this article basically comes from the Japanese newspaper, the Japanese Financial. So they're similar to like the Wall Street Journal here. The report is basically saying that it's very worrying the lack of momentum before the holiday season. While Nikkei has already basically said, like, they're looking at Nintendo's latest financial reports and they're pretty strong. They're looking at 2018 and they're going like, things haven't been as strong as 2017. It's kind of a no-brainer. But they're basically saying, like, you look at the sales dipping in the West here, and then what's happening in the East, I guess they're starting to slow momentum a little bit in Japan. But over here in the United States, sales are slowing down. Nikkei is basically saying that, like, things are in trouble for Nintendo. And that they're basically saying that, like, in Japan, people are looking forward to PlayStation 5. Even here in the United States, people are pointing to PlayStation 5 to be the next big thing, and they're over the Switch. They're also saying that, like, there's nothing to build momentum for Nintendo for the next coming year, even leading into the holiday. And I'm just sitting here going, like, what is happening right now? Like, this is kind of crazy, if you ask me. So you have two of the biggest franchises for Nintendo getting ready to launch, right? You have Smash and you have a Pokemon game getting ready to launch within the next 2 months. One in a couple weeks, and then one a couple weeks after that. How in the world do you consider that there's not a big hype building and excitement around the holiday? There are so many people ready for these games. I think it's a mistake to even make comments like this. In fact, Japanese Nintendo fans have been attacking the newspaper and going after them and saying, like, you're so out of touch with the industry and reality, it doesn't even make sense. I can say this. I am very prevalent in a lot of Facebook groups that have gaming and a lot of different things, like Discord groups. Nobody that I've seen is talking about the PlayStation 5. There is not a single person that I've seen talking about PlayStation 5. When they talk about PlayStation, they're talking Spider-Man, they're talking God of War, they're talking Red Dead now. They're not, PlayStation 5 is not even on the horizon in their eyes. So to say that people are basically looking at it, right now they're not looking at it. They're looking at the great games that Sony is giving them at the moment. And as much as it pains me to say that, there are some great games hitting the PlayStation this year. You have some phenomenal games that came out this year. God of War, Spider-Man, again, those games are like top tier, top echelon games. And then Red Dead just launched. People are not looking at the PlayStation 5. And to say that they're not looking at the Switch is also just as ludicrous, because the fact of, look at the hype that just came from the Smash Direct. People are paying attention to every little detail that Nintendo. I just talked about Reddit losing their minds about a potential Nintendo Direct. If you're looking at that and you're saying, like, these guys, these are the fans, these are the people that buy these consoles, they're excited. I think that the numbers are hard to tell. Like, you look at the numbers, not only that, in Japan, the Switch was just number one again. I don't think that people are buying Switches at this very second. We're getting ready for the holiday push. I think the numbers rise again, and I think things will wash out, and you will see Nintendo doing what they've been doing, pushing forward. I have said this numerous times. I feel like 2019 is set for them to do some phenomenal things. Yes, 2018 was a lull, but let's be honest. You come off of what they did in 2017, it's very hard for any company to come back with a solid second year. It's going to be a sophomore slump any way you look at it. That being said, they've put out more games than any other console this year. There's games coming out the ears. Don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of shovelware, but there's also some really great games hitting the Switch. 2019, there's a great Nintendo lineup, backed up by a lot of great indie games coming. I don't know what this newspaper is talking about. I think they're crazy, honestly. Doesn't make sense. In one statement, you're saying Nintendo's doing strongly. In another statement, you're saying they're doing badly. Just doesn't make sense to me. Seems like somebody's trying to sell newspapers. Just my opinion. I'm sorry that comes off a little negative and hardcore, but it's just how I feel. And if it comes off kind of fanboyish, sorry. It's just how I feel by reading this. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So that is all. Thank you guys for watching today's Nintendo Guru Daily. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please slap the like button down below. Share it with all your friends. If you're not a subscriber, please smash the subscribe button. Please make it happen. You can follow me Instagram, Twitter, at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Say it with me. Peace out, Preston.